Chris, how are you?
Good, mate.
That's good. Very good. You having a big morning or mate, you're down from Currumbara. You're in
Yeah,
Frankston.
and you know what? I've gone Currumbara via Inverloch as well to get the kids to school.
Heck. That's
So, yeah, half an hour south to trek another an hour and a half north.
yeah,
And I've
nice.
just pulled up like 2 minutes before you've given me a call. So, been on the
Love it.
road for a couple of hours.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, nice. So this is the first hustle call we've done with someone else. We were gonna do it with Josh, but we've just found out that you can't you can't record a conference call, so it'll just be me. Um, but that's cool. Basically, the reason I thought it'd be great to get you on is you're a brand and marketing expert, and yeah, our audience is, as I said the other day, a whole bunch of new and young entrepreneurs, and I'd love to hear your perspective
Mhm.
on getting started in business and what you reckon. Do you want to give us a bit of a background on what you do?
Yeah, cool. So essentially, I negate the need for any business, small, medium, large, to have a social media manager by empowering people online to do it themselves. So I show them how to do the stuff from an organic perspective, and I show them how to do the stuff from a paid perspective so that they're getting in front of the right people, regardless of if they're looking to spend time to do that or spend money to do that.
That's cool.
Um, so yeah, essentially, like there's probably two types of social media managers. So I'm just gonna hop out of the car and walk around while I do this as I
Me
go.
too.
Um, there's two types of social media managers out there, and we sort of, like I said, negate the need for one in at all. So the first type is someone like you might get an agency or something, and then they'll give you an account for a VA in the Philippines, and they might be like $200 a month or something like that. So it seems cheap and easy and that sort of stuff. But then you realize after a while that it's just not meeting your brand requirements. It's not getting the attention. Like there's a consistency in the posting, but beyond that, there's really not much going on.
Mm,
And then at the higher end, like you could be spending, well, most small to medium businesses on a good agency are probably spending about $1,500 a month.
mhm.
And they're essentially getting a glorified influencer who does it right on their own account, but not really that good on anyone else's account.
Yeah, nice.
You're getting managed onshore, but you're
Mm,
not getting, you're still getting the same level of consistency and service and engagement and those sorts of things. So, what we do is we don't concentrate on likes and followers and comments and shares and all that sort of stuff. We focus on dollars and cents because at the end of the day, for any sort of business, that's what it comes down to. That's what it boils down to is just getting that stuff in your pocket. So, yeah, I just sit down with people and show them exactly how to do that, so that at any point they need to sit down and point a product or a service at someone, they can hit the right people.
that's really cool. I suppose one of your unique points as well, because you don't actually offer. You are not an agency. If I said to
Not
you,
at
"Hey,
all.
mate, can I pay you to do this?" You'd say, "No way, get fuck off."
Yes, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really cool because usually when you work with an agency, they hide behind metrics.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really unique for you, and that's I suppose
Yeah.
where your value comes in.
Yeah, look, there's a guy that I work with relatively closely. Like he's a multi-million-dollar business himself. They're based over in Perth, but they concentrate really on the paid advertising side of things.
Mm,
Whereas I suppose the unique thing for me is that my wife is, for lack of a better word, an influencer,
mhm,
and we were looking to help her make a career out of it, and we found pretty quickly that you're pretty reactive to people coming and approaching you for like
mhm.
brand deals and that sort of stuff. So we thought, how can we go about this more proactively
Yeah.
and go out there and get the business ourselves? So, for her, she's going to 20 to 25x her income for the year
Mm,
off the back of that,
that's
which is
awesome.
really cool. Yeah, really cool. But also sort of opened the door for me to be able to do what I'm doing as well. So, yeah,
That's awesome.
pretty cool.
How do you go and find those customers? Oh, sorry, those partnerships. Sorry.
She's now got a manager who goes out and does that for her.
Wow.
Um, Going out and finding them, I suppose. Look, there's awareness campaigns, engagement campaigns, those sorts of things that you can do online. There is a level of consistency that you have to put out there, but when it comes to user-generated content work for influencers, generally it is very reactive. You can't go out there and sort of knock on doors you hear some horror stories about, influencers saying, "Hey, we're going to stay in your hotel, or we're looking to come out here. Can we stay in your hotel and you give it to us for free?"
Yeah.
Um, it's a bit of entitlement. I think it's a bit of bullshit.
Yeah.
Um, I would say no, regardless if I was a hotel owner.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, if it comes to you, great. Like, Mel's had some really cool partnerships with some big brands that aren't even within her niche.
Wow.
For example, she's in the cooking and kitchen space, and
Uh-huh.
she's had a contract with L'Oreal in the past,
Heck,
in
that's cool.
makeup. Yeah, so and did a couple of events for those guys. But um, yeah, it's a very different world, that whole UGC influencer world. It's very eye opening as to how that everything works in that space. It's very cool.
UGC is user generated content, yeah?
Yeah, user generated content, which is advertisement campaigns essentially done by users. So there's a whole lot of
Mm.
brands love it because it's not, "Hey, buy my product." It's someone saying, "Hey, I use this product and it's really cool."
Yeah, that's
So
cool.
there's a credibility piece in it for people that sort of resonates. So yeah, for Mel in her kitchen, if she's
Mm.
flogging a tomato sauce or something like that, then people generally go, "Oh, I want to use that tomato sauce now." So
Mm.
yeah,
No, that's cool.
yeah,
I personally, so digressing from that, I reckon the most, what can be the most challenging part of your business, and is often the most I think is the most integral, is your lead ingress, the way that you get leads and the way that you build your brand and market.
yeah,
So this is my favorite topic to talk about with business
awesome.
owners, and it's my favorite topic to talk about with people who claim to be marketers.
Yep.
And speaking from experience of talking with people about it, there are a lot of people out there that have no fucking idea. You're one of the 3 people I've ever spoken to that I genuinely feel understands the space and has the fruit to back it up. So I reckon anyone listening to this phone call is going to get value out of it.
Hopefully, you've
You,
talked it up now. Shit.
I know, right? But at the front end, I thought I'd give you an opportunity to speak to your workshop that you do.
Yeah, cool. So, yeah, like I said, digital empowerment is the way that we do it. It's just you come in with no experience, as long as you've got a laptop. I'll show you how to set up your Facebook and Instagram. We focus on Meta platform,
Mm-hmm.
although the skills are transferable across to TikTok, to LinkedIn, all that sort of stuff. So we teach organic social media for the most part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Integrations, things like autoresponders, will include in that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that if you're doing really any type of post, you can nurture leads organically. And then we also teach you how to do a paid campaign that works as well,
Mm.
which is a lot of how we generate Mel stuff, but right down to it's not just how to set up a campaign, it's how to take a prospect from impression to transaction.
Uh-huh.
So all of the psychological element of it as well, tapping into how, not what or why people buy, but how they buy.
Mm.
So people buy with emotion and justify with logic. So how do you tap into that and make sure that every step along the way aligns with what that person should be expecting, more or less, um, so that you get, like the stats that come through and the return on investment that you're getting on the other end is actually worthwhile.
Yeah,
And
nice.
yeah,
I love the way you've set up your offering as well with it's a 2-day workshop and then ongoing support afterwards to make sure that the guys get the value out of it. I love
well,
that. That's really
yeah,
cool.
and that came largely from that mentor I was talking about as well. He does a 2-day workshop, and the way that he framed it was, he was an agency, and
Mm.
people were asking him, "Hey, can you just show me how to do it?" So he did that. And then he realized he only fixed half the problem,
Yeah.
because people are like, "Well, what if the algorithm changes or the platform changes," which happens,
Mm-hmm.
6 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when all that sort of stuff happens? So then he goes, "Well, hang on, I should probably do an element of support afterwards." And, there's support calls, and people can put up their posts before they post it, and I can drill it and give a video reply on what they could do instead.
Yeah, that's
Like,
cool.
Jay, who you and I both know, she did a certain video the
I saw
day
that.
after the workshop. Yeah, she popped it into the group, and I just grilled it. for like, there were 6 or 7 points that she took out of it on the other end.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
And she's going away to fix it up because, as much as people, it's like, oh, put it out there into the world. What's the worst that can happen? Like, I'm not saying get it perfect before you put it out there, because you have to push the big green button and you have to go, like, you have to make it happen for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But by the same token, like, if you can get it a little bit closer to perfect just based on historical data and evidence as to what works and what doesn't, then the quickest way to success is copy and paste. Let's just get it
Agreed.
as close as we can to that. Get it as close as we can to that before you push go.
Love it.
Yeah.
So we had a chat last night. We were talking about
Yep.
what we could talk about today. And I love the way you wrote back, and you this is exactly what you said as sort of setting us up for what we're about to talk about.
Yeah.
If the audience is young entrepreneurs, it's starting your own business is great, but you got nothing without sales and marketing.
Yeah. It's a big lesson I learned. Yeah.
100%. How do you recommend people get started? Like, what's step one?
Figure out how to sell.
Yeah.
Like, fuck marketing, because you can go door knock, right?
Yeah.
Figure out how to sell first, because if you can figure out how to sell, in order to market, you need to know how to sell.
Yeah.
So you can just put up an ad, like, say, for example, you're selling a coffee cup, right? You can put up a picture of a coffee cup, set up an ad, and the ad be live, but is it going to work? Probably not. Because you probably haven't ticked some certain, like, buyer psyche boxes.
Yep.
So, and I don't know, Josh, who's not on the phone call right now, he's in real estate. And you've been in real estate in the past, so I can probably talk to that a little bit as well. When you're in real estate, people think you sell houses. You don't. You sell yourself, right? And this is my belief. So I know if there's real estate agents out there, I'm sorry if I offend you by this, but you're not selling a house for $800,000. You're selling a $780,000 house for $800,000 if you're good, right? And you're charging a $15,000 commission to get them maybe that $15,000 to $20,000 extra. Like,
I agree.
You're selling your negotiation skills, but if that house is worth $800,000 every day of the week, then you're not doing anything, right?
No.
Like, you're selling yourself, your service that you provide during that campaign. You're selling that experience, right? So the salesmanship in real estate is very much about you and not about how you sell their house.
I always found the hardest thing to sell was the authority, not the Section 32.
Look,
I've
I've done a bit of
landing the
work on
customer.
this.
Once you've got the customer, if you're good at what you do, you've got a process, and it's great. I always
Yeah.
found the vendor was the hardest win, not the buyer.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's actually the job.
Yeah. So, I mean, the more listings you get, the more money you get, because the houses will inevitably sell themselves if, all of the stars align with pricing, marketing, exposure, all that sort of stuff, which nowadays really isn't that hard. It's pretty simple. And a lot of the time there's marketing suppliers that will do that stuff for you.
Yeah.
So, and I'd still play in that space, in the marketing supply space too. And I used to work with Josh's dad for, I reckon it was 2 years, maybe. And I was his assistant back when I was like 19 or 20 or something like that. And I got out of real estate, and then it was after that point that I realized, shit, this is how you sell. I didn't know how to sell before that. And then,
Do you know what's so funny? I worked sales out after I left real estate as well.
Yeah. So I went to insurance broker, online insurance broker, where we made calls and went through to the point of, they had lead generation and that coming through, and we had an automatic dialer, and you just stay on the phone for 12 hours a day selling insurance. And it got to the point where I got off the phone and started training people, and it was about 40 people a month that we'd bring in and train and put onto the phones and whatever. We had to get them from 3 sales a week to 5 sales a day. So it's pretty, full on growth over the space of a few weeks. But it was at that point I was like, shit, this sales process is transferable across to listing presentations. So then I was like, all right, I'll pick it up and put it across there. And it's something that I've stayed with and taught to, directors of real estate agents right down through to, I mean, Jay, who we're talking about, she's fresh into business, and young as well. I think she's early 20s, isn't she? Mid 20s?
I believe so. I believe she's 23.
There you go. And she's cleaning houses, and no shine off that at all. But you don't expect to be a salesperson when you're cleaning houses. But it is absolutely. Long-winded way to come around to say the first thing that you must learn is formal sales training.
100%.
Yeah.
Um, here's what I learned about sales after I left real estate.
Mm.
I cottoned onto this guy. His name's Myron Golden, and he's got a
Yeah.
really good way of describing it. Um, Sales is about uncovering the value for the end consumer. The way that you do that is you craft a sharp offer.
Yep.
And if you've got a sharp offer, the consumer would be insane to say no to it.
I could go one step further to that and say that sharp offer has to be tailored on the spot. So you could have an offer, say that coffee cup, right? So that coffee cup to you is going to mean something different to my wife,
Uh-huh.
right? So like you're going to like the fact that it holds the right amount of coffee that you need in the morning
Uh-huh.
because of our discovery conversation, right? Whereas she's going to love it because of the artwork on the side of it or the way that it's handcrafted or something like that. So you have to tailor your sharp offer to the individual that you're sitting in front of.
I
So say, for
agree.
example, like go back to the real estate example, you're sitting down in front of a prospect. The first question that you should be asking them is, what is the most important thing about the real estate agent that stands on your doorstep on a Saturday morning?
It's great.
Right. And then they
Mhm.
go, because no one else is going to ask that question. They're just going to show boards and photos and stuff like that. Nothing that they actually do.
Mhm.
You know, what's the most important thing about the person that stands on your front door that represents your house?
Mm.
What's the most important aspect of that real estate agent?
Uh-huh.
Like, and it could be, oh, that they get the best price. Like
Mm.
a lot of the time, that's what it's going to be.
Yep.
Okay, price aside, what else is important,
Mm.
right? And so you got to start uncovering because they might go honesty. Honesty.
Mhm.
All right, tell me a bit more about honesty. Why is
Yeah.
honesty important to you?
Mm.
Like, dig into it. What's that Shrek thing? Ogres are like onions.
Yeah.
You peel back the layers, right?
Ogres have layers.
Yeah. So you got to peel back the layers because you ask the same question 3 times. You know,
Mhm.
what's important about that? Oh, that's cool. What's important
Mhm.
about that? Oh, cool.
Mhm.
What's important about that? You ask that 3 times over, you're going to get a million different responses.
Mhm.
And then your
100%.
sharp offer is then tailored to that person if you use those
Mhm.
motivators
Mhm.
within your pitch.
I,
Yeah.
I s- I so agree. My wife's a really talented Pilates instructor, and when
Yep.
we had our kid, she gave it up. This week, she's
Yep.
decided to get back into it.
Yeah.
So we're crafting a Pilates business, and the first thing we did is we sat down and we worked with ChatGPT and we worked out what are the outcomes that people why do people pay for Pilates? They're not doing it because Pilates has a great brand. They're
Yeah.
doing it because they want outcomes. What are the potential outcomes? And off the back of that, we've crafted 3 different packages. Um, one's a rehab product, one's a core and posture product, and one's a reset sort of product as well.
Yeah.
But you're 100% right. You have to understand the outcomes, the potential outcomes, so that you can speak to their pain point. And I suppose that's the key there is like the only reason people part with cash is because they've got pain.
Well, yeah. Well, it's one of they're either trying to move away from pain or they're trying to move towards pleasure, right? So
Correct.
you might go, you know, what is it that you're looking for? Like everyone will know this. You'll ask someone, what is it that you're looking for? And they'll know someone that will turn around and go, well, I'll tell you what I'm not looking for.
Mm,
Like they'll go the other way.
yeah.
So, you know, if you ask someone who is motivated by pain,
Hmm.
you ask them a towards question, which is, what are you looking for?
Hmm.
Right. Um, you ask it the other way around. If you're picking up that they're coming from a place of pain, you go, what are you trying to get away from?
Hmm. Hmm.
And make it really easy for them to
Mm,
answer.
mm, mm.
Little subtleties like that make a massive, massive difference. But going back to your wife's thing as well, right? Do you guys have, and this is again off the cuff, do you guys have
Please.
like data, emails, followers, anything like that? Like, do you have people that you can reach out to?
She's got a couple of followers. But
Yeah,
that's the thing really, we are kind of starting cold. The
yeah,
beautiful thing is it's a bit of an exclusive product because it'll be a weekly thing and she's only really got time for 18 customers. So
yeah,
we've got a premium so we're crafting it up as a premium value offer similar to the way you've done your workshop with the check-ins afterwards and sort of moving away. It's a very hourly rate driven business and we're trying to rather than crafting up a commodity based offer, we're trying to go for a premium value offer.
yeah.
And the
They got a
scarcity of the
similar sort of thing
18.
down in Inby. Yeah,
Sorry?
there's a similar sort of thing down in Inverloch. where
Yeah,
it's like a subscription almost.
we have talked about doing something
Yeah,
like
cool.
that as a different offering,
Yeah.
more a recurring based offer.
Yeah.
What we're doing at the
You know,
moment, it's going to
those ask me a question things on Instagram stories.
yes,
So put in there, go, what is your biggest motivator when it comes to doing Pilates? Like what would be your biggest motivator for signing up to a Pilates program, and
that's
ask
great.
them that, and then use those answers as your headlines in your advertising.
That's really good.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
then you're
you're
talking directly to
specifically
your
talking
customer,
to the
right?
pain, 100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
No,
or
that's
to the
good.
pleasure, right? So if
You're
someone
right.
goes, I want to do it because of X, I want to be fucking ripped,
Yep.
shredded for stairs or whatever, right?
Yep.
I've got a shit back and I need to fix that, or uh, postpartum or whatever it is, right? There's a whole lot of range of different reasons in there. But if you ask your direct audience one on one, what is their biggest motivator?
Mm,
Chances are, like whatever attracts one person is going to attract others. And
mm,
this, like, I'm going to segue. So
please.
we've gone, like, sales is absolutely the first thing that you should be doing. The second thing that you should be doing is figuring out your marketing off the back of that, right?
Why?
So why?
If you've nailed sales, why do you care?
Because they're two different departments. So
Mm,
you can sell, that's fine. But if you don't
mm,
have the leads to sell, then again, you got nothing,
yep.
right? So again, you're going to have to go out and door knock, or you're
Mm-hmm.
going to have to go out and letterbox drop and hope that someone calls you off the back of that. But again, it's very reactive,
Yeah.
right? So
Horrible way to
marketing,
scale as well.
oh, terrible. So what you want to be doing, like in today's day and age, what you want to be doing is moving away from that sort of stuff and
Mm,
going, okay, well, we're a digital world. And I know you and Josh are very into the digital space, right? And you
mm,
guys go, nah, fuck, let's jump in.
yep.
Your whole business has .com.au on the end of it. So
Mm-hmm.
brilliant, right?
Mm,
Um, is to go, okay, well, how do you do digital letterbox drops?
yep.
How do you do digital door knock? How do
Mm,
you do that sort of stuff and
mm,
make it work in the online space so that you can hit a whole lot more? You can hit in the time it takes for you to go and door knock like a cul-de-sac,
mm,
right?
mm,
You can hit 10,000 people online. Like, why the fuck would you go door knock?
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, marketing is proactively going out there and getting the leads. And this is where we come into it, is to go, okay, cool. Well, you're either going to spend time to get your leads, or you're going to spend money to get your leads. There's only two
Mm,
ways to do it, right?
mm,
So spending time is going about just posting something organically on your post, on your wall, or your For You feed or whatever, and hoping for the best, crossing your fingers.
yeah.
Or you can go and spend money and do
Mm.
paid advertising for it as well.
That's
So
a
we
that's
teach
a
both.
r- yeah, that's a really interesting thing you just said. I actually heard someone say, so you just said you can either spend time or money. Um,
Yeah,
to expand on that and sort of prop up the point you just made about why marketing is valuable, because if you nail the marketing, you're spending money, not time.
yeah.
Agreed. I heard someone
Well,
say the other day that you go.
I don't know if you work in like a goldfish bowl type, corporate world or whatever, but
Yeah,
generally the marketing department says that the sales team isn't doing any good, and the sales team
and
says
so
that
the marketing team. Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
like the
Yep.
leads are shit, so we can't
Mm,
sell them. But the marketing team saying, hey, we're getting the
mm,
leads, but the sales team shit because they're not closing them.
hmm. Well, I
And it's
heard
like,
someone
well, if you're
say
going to get them to work together, then
100%.
that's yeah,
I heard someone say the other day that time is the stuff that life is made of and money is replaceable. So anytime you can spend money to buy time, you're buying back your life.
that's honestly how I frame my life now. Like,
Yep.
yeah, we talked about a 2 hour drive this morning, but I could take my kid to school.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go pick him up this afternoon, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm an hour and a half away,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll go pick him up from school.
Mm,
Because like, to be able to, if my thing this year is how can I make as much money as I possibly can and work as little as I possibly can.
yeah, freedom.
Yeah,
Yep.
like I'm 37 now, right? Like I saw this thing. It was like if you're a dude in your 30s and you're talking, and what advice would you give to a dude in their 20s?
Mm,
And I was like, in my head, just because of what I'm doing,
mm,
it's like, yeah, learn sales, learn marketing. Number
mm,
one.
mm,
Number two, go do weights in the gym.
mm-hmm.
The gym bros were right and you were wrong. Go do weights. I'm sore all the time, bro.
Yeah.
I've had a lower back strain for the last 6 weeks,
Should do
and
some
I
Pilates.
can't yeah, all that. I can't sit, I can't stand, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
And call your parents.
That's
Was the other one?
huge. That's huge. I
Yeah,
posted one the other day that as you get older, So when you're like 6, the amount
Yeah.
of time you spend with your dad is a higher not it's hard to sort of say it without the stats, but basically I'm 28 years old now,
Yeah.
and the math is I might only see him 350 times for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
when I was 6, I saw him 350, how many, 6? 352? How many days in a year? I saw him every day.
365.
Oh, I
Yeah.
don't know, I can't
You
remember.
got there.
Yeah. Um, but 100% call your dad. Call your
Yeah.
dad. Just call him right
Well,
now.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Anyway, that was a bit of
that's
a
beautiful.
divergence.
Mhm.
But well, I mean, well, what is it? We're talking to people in that age group, so there you go.
Yeah. People
Um,
who yeah, absolutely. When you get stuck into marketing, I reckon there's 2 things you can focus on, and I suppose it's really important to understand the recipe that you're building as well, because
yeah,
successful people hyper fixate on intention, and
yeah,
non-successful people hyper fixate on distraction. So you have to understand your intention in order to succeed. My
yeah.
view is there's 2 things that you can focus on when you start running ads and playing around with Facebook, either
Yeah.
brand or sales. Would you agree? Do I wanna be closing or do I wanna be building brand? No? Do you
Well,
disagree?
no, I don't. I've just never heard it sort of pitched that way before. Like, I, I'm very process driven. I think you
Mhm,
need to be process driven to be successful. Like, you stick within a process, like within our networking group, for example, right? You do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. You're generally going to go pretty well.
mhm,
If you divert away from that, that's when you know,
mhm,
let us throw down the beaten path. So I'm very process driven with what it is. So the number one thing when it comes to marketing is first you need to figure out who you're talking to,
uh-huh,
and it's not a group of people. It's never ever a group of people. And this comes back to that segue before. You always only talk to one person.
uh-huh,
So if you have to figure out the person that you're talking to, because how entitled do you have to fucking be to
mhm,
go, I'm talking to this many people all at the same time?
yeah,
Well, fuck you. Like, what gives you the right? Like, you know, you don't go from nothing to speaking on a stage straight away. And if you do, you're probably going to fuck it up.
yeah,
So just talk to one person at a time, because the person that's watching you wants to be spoken to,
mm,
regardless of whether they say they do or not, or whatever thought process you want to do. The most engaging content that there is online is the
mm,
stuff where someone is looking directly at you
mm,
and
mm,
talking to you.
mm, mm,
So you need to figure out the person that you're talking to first.
mhm, mm,
So I did a talk at a school a couple of months ago. It's for a year 9 business course thing. They were about to start off with that, and they brought me in as a marketing person to go, hey, your teachers have said social media is bad for the last, 6 years. I'm here to tell you how cool it can be,
yeah,
and how you can print money. And everyone was like, fuck yeah, all right, we're
yeah,
into this.
love it.
Um, so it was, I just put up a group of people, like a random shot of a huge crowd in a town square, and said, if you tried to market to this whole thing, you'd miss everyone,
Mm,
because this person here is obviously a different dynamic to this person here and this person here. And all, there was a young 25-year-old Indian guy, and then there was an old white person that was like 65 or something older, white person that was like 65. But if you marketed to them in the same way, you would miss,
mm,
right? What you need to do is figure out who your target market is first,
uh-huh,
and write down to, like, if you can get it to like a 5-year, 7-year type age group, you have interests, you have all that sort of stuff. Not necessarily for detailed targeting on Meta,
uh-huh,
but you're going to talk to, I'm going to talk to Jay. She keeps coming up. I'm going to talk to
cool.
Jay, the 23-year-old female, differently to how I'm going to talk to, say, Lee, who's in our group, who's a little bit more mature
Mm,
male
mm,
professional services, right?
mm,
Um, and that's just a natural thing. Like, we talk to different generations in different ways, respect for your elders, or however you want to go. It's subconsciously, it's there in the back of the head.
context matters with
Yeah.
messaging.
Now, by targeting the 23-year-old, you're not missing the 65-year-old,
Mm,
right? You're still going to get the 65-year-old, but you're
mm,
going to get more of the 23-year-olds, because they're hearing you, they're
mm,
tuning in to what you're saying. So if you can, like, first and foremost, figure out. So I don't disagree with what you said. I've just never heard it put out that way first. My thing first would be figure out who you're talking to.
mm,
And then from there, to go into what you said, you got, what was it, brand or sales?
mm,
Yeah. So then you can put your brand out there in the way that you want to put your brand out there, and have it resonate with the people that you want to buy from you.
Mhm.
or you can sell to the person knowing how they talk.
Mm. I'll
So by
elaborate.
going,
Yeah, you go.
yeah, by going back a step and figuring out who you're talking to first before concentrating on brand or sales,
Mhm.
I think that's probably your first thing.
Mm. I'll elaborate on what I meant to give you a bit
Go.
of time to understand it and think a bit,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then you can respond.
Go for it.
So, if you get an ad from Nike or McDonald's or Kia or something, actually, Kia is not a great example, but one of these big brands, how
Yeah.
often do you see Nike saying, "We just dropped 1,000 shoes. Get to your local Foot Locker right now." And no, they don't do that. They sell a concept. They sell well, they're not even selling it. What they're doing is they're building brand. They'll put something in front of you that's there to build the brand. Yeah, you
Yeah.
agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one way of doing it. And then you get I'm trying to think of an example, but you'll get a different type of business that will even like Ford. They'll have like a mid-year run out sale. Get down to the dealer right now, and they'll have a button at the bottom with a CTA, a call to action that says, "Book your test drive now at your local dealer." So that's a closed offer based selling system. Or the other offer is buy into our brand, buy into our movement, buy into our concept. I guess the
Yeah.
question is, it's a two-pronged question, really. What
Yeah.
would you recommend for young business owners who are just starting out to start with? And
Yeah.
do different businesses, should they take different strategies?
Yeah. Okay, cool. So
Does that make sense?
yeah, I'll get you to say the second one again later. But the first one was, what do I recommend for young people to do first?
Yeah.
Figure out who you're talking to, because both those things still play into it. So I use your Ford mid-year run out for an example, right?
Uh-huh.
Ford is a lower socioeconomic brand,
Mhm.
right? They're a Joe Blow, denim jeans type brand.
Mhm.
Um, they're going to have their price on it because a lot of people who don't have as much money are going to be more motivated by price, even though they're motivated by other things like
Mm.
Ford versus Holden or Ford versus Chevy or whatever it is. Like, I want to buy a Ranger because my mate's got a Ranger and I don't want to get the GWM Chinese thing that's around the corner,
Mhm.
because I don't want them to pay out on me or whatever, right?
Mhm.
So there is an emotional motivator to it. But at the end of the day, it still comes down to price for a lot of people within that socioeconomic group, right?
Sure.
You're never going to see Lamborghini have a mid-year run out.
Nope.
No, right?
Mm.
Now, they are both car brands, but figure out who it is that you're talking to first. The thing that a lot of businesses do when they make a mistake with this is actually, you know what? If your listeners have not gone onto YouTube, looked up Simon Sinek, Sinek,
Yes.
start with why.
Josh loves him.
Yeah, Simon Sinek, start with why,
Yeah.
is the basis for every single sales and marketing effort that I've done.
Mm.
Right? It
Mm.
is the difference. I think he puts in there Hewlett Packard is Hewlett Packard is a computer company. Apple is a computer company. You would buy a computer from Apple. You would buy a computer from HP.
Mhm.
You would buy an iPod from or a phone. You'd buy a phone from Apple, but you wouldn't buy a phone from HP.
Mm.
But they're infinitely qualified to make phones, but you wouldn't do that,
Mm.
right? It's because of the marketing efforts that are put behind it and how it's done. So starting with why first is really important, but
Mhm.
you only figure out the why by figuring out what your customer avatar is.
Mm.
So you want to look at age, gender, location, socioeconomic status, interests, like so many different things to figure out who it is exactly that you're talking to. Because if there was 100,000 people, and if you just picked a random 100,000 people and said, yeah, look, I'm flogging my Collingwood merchandise, you wouldn't hit. But if you found 100,000 people at the MCG at a Collingwood home game and flogged your merchandise, you'd have a much better success rate.
True.
Right. So figure out who it is that you're talking to first.
Mm.
Yeah, like even Nike, Red Bull. Red Bull's a really good one that I use as well. They sell a concept, they sell a lifestyle,
Mhm.
more so, but they sell a lifestyle to the people who they know want that. Like, there's an equal amount of fit people wearing Nike gear as there is fat people wearing Nike gear
Mm.
or Esches,
Mhm.
right? There is a Red Bull is not an energy drink, bad for your body company. They are a high intensity extreme sports company
Mm.
with how they put themselves out there, right?
Mm. Mm.
It's they market to a certain lifestyle. Their marketing to the people who are drinking Red Bulls are sitting behind computers playing games, right?
Mhm.
But they potentially want to become that, or live more of a lifestyle. Think that they do, like, have the illusion that they have an active lifestyle, and drinking Red Bull appeases that. There's obviously a lot more research and stuff gone into that sort of stuff, right?
Mm.
But McDonald's is not a fast food, junk food company. McDonald's is a happy family restaurant.
Mm.
Like, like, but it's picking up who that they're talking to. So if you were to put it out there as this is a junk food company, McDonald's probably wouldn't be as successful.
No.
But they sponsor all the Oz Kicks,
Mhm.
and they sponsor the AFL, and they
Mhm.
sponsor all of these sports efforts and happy family events. And there used to be, I don't know if it was around when you were a kid, but they used to do that big juice container thing that they'd give to schools for fun runs and stuff.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and they sponsor all the cross countries and all that sort of stuff, right?
Mm. Mm.
They're happy family, healthy kids restaurant, but
Mm.
they sell fucking sugar laden crap that
Mhm.
doesn't ever grow mold on it because it's got that much fucking preservatives in it.
Wild, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's figuring out what they've done is they figured out who they're talking to and what appeases that crowd.
Mm.
They don't want to feel like bad parents when they take their kids there. They want to feel like it's a treat.
Mhm. Mhm.
So they market to that. And now, if ever I take my kids to McDonald's, because I'm not saying that I don't, right? If ever I take my kids to McDonald's for a Happy Meal or whatever, it's
Mm.
like, oh yeah, Macca's treat. You say it's a treat.
Mm.
You
How do you
don't put it
start
out
every
there.
road trip?
How do I start every? Well, yeah, 100%. You're stopping in a Macca's on a fucking
100%.
freeway.
And you're a weird one if you don't. We didn't do it. We went to Lawn the other day,
Yeah,
and we tried to stay away from Macca's,
yeah.
and we both commented saying it's a bit weird not getting a McMuffin on the way in.
Very odd, right?
Yeah.
There is nothing more that I love than a can of Coke on a road trip.
Yeah.
It's just like this core memory for me as a kid, a can of Coke. Like having a McDonald's Coke, no good.
Nice.
Having something else, no good. It has to be a can of Coke.
Can of Coke.
And I don't know where it stemmed from, but it's like a muscle memory
It's a
thing for me.
ritual.
Yeah, right. So that sort of stuff comes into it as well.
Mm.
Um, yeah. So answer to your first question, place to start for guys getting into it.
Mm.
Number one, learn sales. Number two, learn marketing
Mhm.
after sales. Like get formal sales training. Don't just jump on. Go and get formal sales training.
Mhm. Are
Right.
you saying go and get a mentor or go and do a program or get a coach or?
Someone who knows what sales is. Like real estate agents, no offense to them. Again, you do a 2 week course and you're in. I think
Yeah.
it's changed now. I think
No,
you have
it's
to do it for
wild. You
1 year.
you can get it out of a cereal packet still.
Yeah, right. Like you've got to do that, and then you're
I
fully
didn't
fledged to
even
go
do
and sell
mine.
someone's 1.5.
When I did my agent's rep, I did it via correspondence, and someone in the agency that I worked for, who will remain
Yeah,
nameless, sent me what they wrote, and it was the same course. I
yeah,
changed the font. That was it.
done.
Done.
Love that.
Yeah.
But like, I remember mine was 2.5 weeks, and then that was it. That's all I
Mhm.
ever had to do.
I did it.
Um,
I did it in the display suite. Because
Crazy.
I did it in the display suite in an afternoon. I quickly read through the 200-page book they gave me, and then I just submitted old mates' answers. I did it
Yeah,
in an afternoon. So what's that, 2 hours? It's qualified in 2
unreal.
hours.
Unreal.
Yeah.
That is, yeah. See, so it's not like you don't learn sales, and even if you do your full license, which that can take months to get your full license sorted.
Mhm.
But they don't teach you sales. They
Nope.
teach you how to run a trust account.
Are you
You know,
fully
they teach.
licensed?
No,
I am.
no, not
I'm
anymore.
I'm fully licensed and
Yeah,
100%. It's
but you're
they
not
don't
teaching.
teach you a thing. No.
No. So, yeah, go get formal sales training and figure out then how that applies. Like for most service-based businesses, it's when that lead comes through from your marketing efforts, but you can't do your marketing efforts until you figure out because you're not when you're marketing. Say you've got an ad up, right? When you're marketing on Facebook and you see an ad, the
Mm.
marketer should not be trying to sell the product or the service. They should be trying to sell the click.
Mm.
Just sell the next step. That's all you
Mm.
need to do. Just sell the next step.
Just a
And
soft
then
close.
once they get through to the website, landing page, whatever,
Mm.
right? Then you've got to sell putting the details in,
Mhm.
right? So figure out then how to sell that person to put their details in, like phone number, email, maybe answer a couple of questions.
Mm.
But you've got to convince them at that point that they've got to be able to do that, right?
Mm.
And then they drop into your inbox as a lead, and you give them a call, right? So you got to figure out A, when to call them, and B, what to say, right? So that if you don't know what to say, then maybe, ask a few questions in the stages before that. So you've got some answers in your inbox as well. And you go, hey, I saw that you were after this, you wanted this sort of time frame, this was your budget, that type of thing. Tell me a bit more about that. Get them talking, right? But then you've got to figure out how to sell them at that point. And depending on your service, that could be anywhere between a 5-minute and a 50-minute conversation, right? If it's a trade or something like that, it's generally a 5-minute conversation. If it's a personal development thing, generally it's a little bit more.
My quotes, I push them into 15 minutes. I'll go out on site, build rapport, offer them a price immediately. I'm gone in 15 minutes. For this
Yeah.
Pilates business idea, this is a premium value offer. We're trying to change people's lives and do something quite delicate. Mon's going to be staring at this person's body and changing the way that they live their life. It's going to be an hour to an hour and a half consultation.
100%, right? But that's about someone, so that's going to be a longer conversation.
Yeah.
When you're talking about something, generally it's a shorter conversation, like come fix my pipes. Well, that could be about someone too, couldn't it?
Hey.
Hey, mate, I got 2 minutes left before I got to nick off. What was your second question?
You've actually already answered it.
What was it?
It was basically, do you think different products require different strategies for whether you build brand or clothes? And you use the Lamborghini analogy as opposed to the Ford analogy. So I suppose if it's a premium product, it has a premium ad. Don't pressure them. Don't do FOMO.
I think the biggest mistake people make as well is, and this is one of the biggest objections I come across when people are like, I'm just not sure if my market is on Facebook. Everyone's on fucking Facebook.
Yep.
Like Mel, as an example, we market between 27-year-old and 55-year-old, right? Because if we go above 55, you get everyone coming there. If you go above 55, they'll tell her how to cook. They'll tell her what she's doing wrong. That sort of stuff. And they're not the people that are going to buy. People, senior citizens, are the worst trolls of all time.
True.
So mean. They're so mean. There's no filter. They do not care. They just feel entitled to do it. And I'm saying for the most part, so if by chance you found this podcast, and I'm not talking about you specifically, I'm talking about everyone else around you.
You've got 2 minutes. Any closing remarks?
Do so. It all comes back to who you're talking to.
Yeah.
With sales, it comes back to who you're talking to. With marketing, it comes back down to who you're talking to. But never ever talk to more than one person whenever you're creating content or marketing or selling. Always just talk to one person.
Yeah, nice.
Figure out who that person is first. But that'd be the main thing.
Nice.
And do my course. That'd be
nice.
right.
You're the best. Where do we find you?
showupdigital.com.au. For a social media guy, I've got no social media status. So don't go looking for me. That will change over time. I'm not entirely sure.
You should do
direction I'm going to
OnlyFans.
head in next.
I've seen your feet.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they are good, right? They ask me them.
Don't ask me how I've seen your feet.
So you're the guy out of my window. Okay.
Cool.
Things are going to change in the future. A lot of cool, exciting things to do. But for the moment, that is what it is. Just a very basic, no fuss kind of service.
Nice. And I'll put your website in the comments below. Thank you very much, man. You're the best. Thanks for your time.
Mate.
Awesome.
I'll see you soon, all right?
Take care. Done. Bye.
See you, mate. Bye.